In 1847, in the Battle of Chapultepec during the Mexican-American War, the U.S. Army seizes control of Chapultepec Castle just outside Mexico City. 6 teenage military cadets, known as the Niños Héroes, or Boy Heroes, famously die defending the castle and have since become a source of Mexican pride for their courageous stand. In 1848, 25-year-old Vermont Railroad construction foreman Phineas Gage is directing a blasting operation when a blast shoots a 1-inch diameter iron rod upward through his skull. He miraculously survives, although his behavior and personality are reportedly affected by the brain injury, and he dies nearly 12 years later of a seizure. Up next is the answer to yesterday's quiz. In 1862, during the American Civil War, Union soldiers of the 27th Indiana Infantry Regiment find a copy of Confederate General Robert E. Lee's battle plans for the Antietam campaign. Union General George B. McClellan moves his troops with speed and confidence based on the information in the lost orders, but he appears to have also wasted some of the advantage he gained from the intelligence. In 1969, at the Toronto Rock and Roll Revival Festival, host Kim Fowley starts a rock tradition when he asks the crowd to hold up lighters to give musicians Eric Clapton and John Lennon a huge Toronto welcome. The tradition continues today, usually with cell phone flashlights, although some claim the tradition started in another way. In 2004, TV talk show host Oprah Winfrey surprises the 276 people in her studio audience by giving each of them a new $28,500 Pontiac G6. She famously shouts, "You get a car," over and over again while pointing at audience members. In 2021, more than 400 years after the settlers vanished, archaeologists begin a series of digs that they hope will shed light on the fate of the famed lost colony of Roanoke, the first attempted English settlement in what is now the U.S. They find several artifacts on nearby Hatteras Island, which was known 400 years ago as Croatoan Island, that indicate that the settlers may have moved there. In 2024, a 58-foot-long bronze relief sculpture is set to be revealed today at the World War I Memorial in Washington, D.C. The sculpture, called A Soldier's Journey, was created by American sculptor Sabin Howard and contains 38 figures that represent the American experience in the war. And now, it's time for our Today in History quiz. The poem that became the U.S. national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, was set to the tune of which popular song? The Girl I Left Behind Me, To Anacreon in Heaven, The Last Rose of Summer, It's a Long Way to Tipperary. Think you know the answer? Drop your guesses in the comments below. Find out if you're right tomorrow on Today in History.